And welcome to BQ Prime. A very good afternoon to all the viewers. Joining us on the show today, we have Nagraj Shetti, Senior Technical and Derivative Analyst at HDFC Securities, to discuss what's in store for the markets in spite of the choppiness that we have been witnessing. Good afternoon, Nagraj, and welcome to the show.
Hi, good afternoon.
Nagraj, my first question coming to you is clearly the kind of choppiness that we have been witnessing is something which has actually kept the benchmark indices subdued. And there is some bit of nervousness that is seen as well in today's session. What's the sense that you pick up specifically, firstly, to start off with in terms of Nifty? Because clearly, there is the supply at higher levels is restricting the up move as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, exactly. Because Nifty has moved up sharply over the last many sessions, and this is a time where Nifty is showing some time correction rather than a price correction precisely. What we can see from the chart is that 18,300 odd level is a very strong resistance on the weekly chart and daily chart as well. This area was a resistance of previous swing highs, and many times in the past that the market has reacted on the downsides from near this area. But what is positive is the market is showing is that even though placed at the highs, still there is no indication of any significant reversal pattern unfolding at the higher levels. That is one. Second thing, in the market is previously market was moving in a negative trend like a lower tops and bottoms, and recently it has witnessed upside breakout of that downsloping trend line and negated that negative sequence of lower tops and bottoms. Now it has formed a higher bottom. Now the positive sequence of higher tops and bottom is on the way. So on that basis, any downward correction from here is going to be a buy on dips opportunity, is likely to form a new higher bottom for the sequence around 18,000. Initial support is around 18,200 level. If it breaks below, then 18,100, 150 is going to be a strong support. For me, market is in a very strong mode. I'm not expecting any significant reversal pattern as of now at the higher levels. The slowly and steadily, this 18,300, 400 is resistance is going to be taken out on the upside. Smaller consolidation is likely in the next day or two. Minor weakness could be expected from the higher levels, but I'm not expecting any bigger decline as of now. And we are likely to see upside breakout of 18,300, 400 resistance on that event. The next upside target of around 18,600 to 700 will come into picture.
Right. So from there on, if you look at Bank Nifty as well, we have seen reversal in yesterday's trading session, and that was largely led by the PSU banking space. However, how is the overall weekly expiry looking like, taking into consideration today's view where we are seeing some bit of consolidation after opening in the positive?
Yeah, exactly. The Bank Nifty is also behaving in the same manner as Nifty. In fact, Bank Nifty, is outperforming the benchmark. What we can observe a tremendous up move over the last few weeks, and after that, the consolidation moment. 43,800 has acted as a resistance, and that resistance is showing some kind of a consolidation at the higher levels. And still, Bank Nifty, we are not seeing any important reversal pattern at the higher levels. In fact, top reversal pattern and minor selling pressure consolidation moment is going on. 42,600 is going to be a strong support right now, which is happens to be a previous swing low as well as 20-day EMA on the daily chart. I'm expecting on the move below the 20 to 42,000 is expected to be a strong support after that. From the chart above, I'm not expecting any significant sharp decline from here, and eventually the banking sector will move towards the next 44,500, 44,800 levels after moving above 43,800, which is the initial set of resistance.
Right. So that's with regards to Nifty as well as Bank Nifty. Another segment that I want to talk to you about is with regards to the auto index as well. There seems to be a lot of promise coming out of the auto index. Is the view still bullish on your end?
Yeah, of course, the trend continues to be bullish. We have seen sharp upside movements recently, and there is a possibility of some cooling off of the trend without any showing any major decline. There may be some consolidation movement in the next day or two, but the uptrend remains intact as per smaller and larger time frame. On the larger degree, we are witnessing a higher tops and bottoms in the automobile sector, and auto front runners like Tata Motors, Maruti, they are likely to outperform in line with the sector. I'm expecting auto sectors to move up further from here on.
Right, so that's with regards to the auto space. Coming to stock specific action, yesterday's session we've seen Sun Pharma, which saw a good amount of OI addition, and the delivery volumes were also pretty strong. What's your view, and where are you seeing support? What should the strategy be?
In fact, pharma sector is looking positive, but Sun Pharma anyhow is not moving with the in line with the index, and I'm expecting some more decline or some more consolidation movement in the pharma sector as it has been in a downtrend over the last couple of weeks. It has currently moved below the important support of 200-day EM around 960 levels, and 940 is going to be the important support as of now. And strategy would be better to avoid the stock because I'm not expecting any a significant reversal as of now. Let it wait for some consolidation moment. And once it shows any kind of a reversal at the lower levels, one can look for accumulating. Till then, better to avoid.
Right, so that's an avoid coming in terms of as Sun Pharma goes. Apart from that, if you look at an HDFC Bank, what's your view on an HDFC Bank?
Since I'm associated with the HDFC Group companies as per
So,
compliance issue,
yes.
I won't be able to comment on HDFC Group.
Absolutely. Nagraj, apart from that, if you see in terms of where other names are concerned, where are you seeing more traction? Because clearly, if I look at Aarti Industries as well, one of the top losers. However, we have seen some bit of accumulating positions on this.
Yeah, Aarti was not showing any kind of a strength over the recently when the outperformance was seen in mid and small cap segments. And recently, what we have seen is today's decline of 9% is indicating a downside breakout of a few weeks sideways range movement of around 550 to 575 levels. And that is this is not a good sign for any trader or a market participant. And as per the trend, I'm expecting this weakness to continue for some more period, and lower levels of around 485 or 480 is going to be the good support for this stock in the near term.
Right, so that's with regards to where Aarti Industries goes. Apart from that, Apollo Tires, PNB, Rain Industries, these counters have seen some bit of short built up in today's session, which is clearly a sign of bearishness. What should the strategy be?
See, all these stocks, what we have discussed, what you have mentioned, we were in a sharp uptrend, and but today's decline is expected to be a minor downward correction of the uptrend, kind of a higher bottom. Expect gain, but in PNB also, I think we should not be worried about this decline, and over the period of time, this stock would show some bounces from the lower levels. At present, they are in a consolidation, they are in a weakness, but over the period of time, they are likely to bounce from the lows.
Right. Nagraj, how are you looking at India Cement? Because that stock is seeing some bit of long build up in today's session. There are some large positions that are being taken as well.
Yeah, of course, cement sector itself has been moving up, and this was not moving that compared to the other peers. But I'm expecting a positive chart pattern in India Cements. Currently placed at the resistance of around 195 to 198 levels. Couple of indication we may observe on the chart that the stock has reacted on the downwards from this resistance. Currently firmly placed at the resistance. I'm expecting slowly, steadily, this resistance is going to be taken out on the upper side. Once a move above 200 levels could bring a sharp upside momentum for this stock price. So better wait for the upside breakout, and on the upside breakout, this stock would reach out to the next overhead resistance of around 215 levels.
Right. What about a Pidilite Industries, Siemens, as well as IndusInd Bank? These three counters are also seeing a long build up in today's day of trade. What should the strategy be?
Yeah, Pidilite industry was moving in a consolidation movement and what actually in a smaller range movement. And recently, we have seen in the last couple of sessions, it has witnessed upside breakout of the range. And overall, chartically, what Pidilite is looking is a rounding type of a bottom formation. Accumulation is clearly going on in this stock, and better to continue with the positions for year. I'm expecting this stock to move up towards 2600 in the near term.
Right. Nagraj, apart from these names, anything that comes to your radar from tomorrow's trade perspective?
Yes, I think one is the stock I'd like to give in the mid cap segment. That is the Aarti Drugs. If you look at chartically Aarti Drugs on the weekly time frame, it is in the verge of showing upside breakout. On the weekly time frame, it has closed above the significant downsloping trendline resistance around 440, 442 levels and closed higher. So overall chart pattern is looking positive, and I'm expecting this has placed at the 200 DEMA support around 420 to 423 levels. This stock is likely to move up towards the next overhead resistance of around 485 over the next 1 week.
Right. So that's with regards to a few of the recommendations that are coming in from Nagraj as well. Thank you, Nagraj, so much for joining us on the show and giving us those strategies. But clearly, an interesting day of trade where we've seen a good amount of recovery that has come in. It's been a choppy session overall. We hit a low of around 42,822 in terms of where Bank Nifty goes. But again, a recovery and a closure above the 43,300 mark is what we've seen. If you see in terms of Nifty 50 as well, 0.3% higher is where we've ended. We've ended above those 18,300 levels. So good moves coming in terms of in terms of Nifty as well from the kind of lows that we hit today. IndusInd Bank, HDFC Life, Power Grid, Tata Motors as well as BPCL, these were few of the counters which actually led to the kind of up move. However, pressure continued to build on a UPL for a second or a third consecutive session post earnings. Dr. Reddy's has been under pressure as well ahead of numbers. Infosys, Hindalco as well as Sun Pharma. These were few of the top losers from an overall perspective. If you see in terms of the advance decline ratio on Bank Nifty, pretty much in favor of the bulls. You had 8 advances on Bank Nifty versus 4 losers that were coming in there. Some of the stocks that saw an interesting move from the broader markets, we'll come to that as well. But if you see Sensex, 61,940 is where we've ended. So pretty close to the 62,000 mark is what we're looking at, around 180 points up move coming in terms of the Sensex as well. Varun Beverages was an interesting counter to watch out for. A 6.5% up move, and now the company has joined the 1 lakh crore market cap club in today's day of trade. So, an interesting move coming in terms of Varun Beverages, and the summers is something that will be helping the stock as well. Sanofi was another one on the back of news in terms of the demerger has been in focus in today's day of trade. KEC International, a 9.5% up move on that one. Finolex Industries as well as Cyient saw some smart moves in today's session. Rail Industries was under pressure in terms of closing on the back of earnings. Welspun India has continued the downward pressure for a second consecutive day. Aarti Industries down almost 8 to 9%, and this is again on the way the earnings have panned out, and a Castrol India on the back of earnings was under pressure. So these are few of the losers, but clearly the clear message that we're picking up from the markets as well is that yes, the supply is pretty much high at higher levels, and that is something which is actually restricting the up move so far. And overall, if you see in terms of the PSU banks, that's where there is some bit of pressure. Auto is a sector which is seeing some smart moves, and the up move is continuing. A lot of support coming from a Tata Motors with regards to where the auto pack goes. And you have India VIX, which is hovering in that 12 to 13 kind of a kind of range. So, and you have pharma names also, which everyone is watching out for. But what's the trend going to look like from here is going to be interesting, because clearly on the downside you have 18,200, which is a healthy support level that everyone is watching out for. And if you see in terms of the Bank Nifty as well, there could be some bit of consolidation that could continue in that range of 43,000 to 43,500, and that's what analysts are looking at so far. But overall, an interesting day of trade where we have seen a recovery that has come in the last couple of hours. Not a major one, but there has been some bit of positive momentum that has been seen. And now expiry, the weekly expiry is going to be interesting as well, specifically from a bank nifty perspective. That's all that we have on this session. Thanks for watching and have a great evening.